Do you believe in past lives? Do you believe that a past life of yours could be affecting you right now? Well, I think it might be. Hi, I'm David Hansel and I'm a medium, and you are watching The Spirit Experience. If you enjoy this video, please feel free to hit the like button and the subscribe button for more videos that'll be coming up shortly. These clips of videos will be questions that I'm answering that people ask me a lot of times in my work. And one of the most asked questions I got was about past lives. People wanted to know, what's a past life exactly and how does it work? And the best way that I can explain it is, if you're an adult now, and when you were a child, you might not remember everything that happened as a child. You remember little things, but there are things that happened to you that shaped your personality of who you are right now. Things you like, things you don't like, things you're afraid of, etc. Now, past lives work the same way. So if you're a believer that you can come back here as many times as you really feel like it, well, something that happened to you before you were born stuck with you. It became part of you, your personality. So when you came into this life, it can affect you. Sometimes negatively, sometimes positively. People ask, are past lives real? Well, from experience being a medium and through my own experiences, yes, I do believe they're absolutely real. A lot of proof that comes about with these are, let's say, children who were born, they're 4 years old and they can play a violin like they've been playing it for 1,000,000 years, or kids who can dance, or they skip high school and they can just go right to college. They have this intelligence that came in with them. That's because they're bringing in usually a part of them from another life, or a part from what we would call the other side in my spiritual community. So that is kind of how a past life works. Anything that you have done in a past life pretty much can stay with you. If you look at it, our minds, our physical bodies, every atom in our body is alive. It is always moving. It always will exist. And they kind of, even though they break up after death, kind of, and we have this ethereal body that we're floating around in, which we'll get to in another video, those parts still can come back into this existence as well. Now, people usually ask me, if I find out about a past life and who I was, can that correct things in this life? I guess it probably could. If you had a fear in one life, and I'll give you an example. I used to be afraid of the water growing up. So I would never go underwater. I could never do it. If I went under, I wanted to take a breath. I wanted to breathe. I wanted to just do that. And my parents would always say, Dave, you can't do that, because if you do, you're going to die. So of course I just never went underwater. But what had happened was I had found out about a past life of mine, which was quite real, and I still have memories from where I had drowned in a past life. I drowned myself, not suicide, but because I had to. There was no other way around a situation that I was in, so I went underwater, took a breath, and that was it. Once I remembered that, I kind of had like the other side, or we'll say spirit guides or whatever you want to call them, say, hey, you've already done that. That's already happened to you. That's not going to repeat in this life. That's already finished. Once I went through that, guess what? I am no longer afraid to go underwater. It's fine with me now. It was like poof, overnight. Now, is that going to work for each and every person, something that fast? No, not always. Sometimes it does take a while to figure out things and work through things. Now, if you ever wanted to have a past life regression, which people ask me about, I personally do not do them. I don't do past life regressions. There are some very talented people. There are some on YouTube here also who do it as well. If you write to me at davidhansel@writeme.com, I can tell you some people that I know that are reputable and good at it. Some of them are therapists. Some of them are just readers and mediums. I have lots of friends who are talented and can go back and kind of, give you a little insight of maybe who they were. They can look into it. If you ever want to know how to do that, leave a comment in below, and I will see if I can't do a video on how to try to connect to your past lives. But yes, past lives do exist, and they can affect you in this life. Now, it's not always that you have to know who you were in a past life. It's not necessary, and a lot of people want to know, and sometimes you're better off not knowing. Most people will come to a reader or a medium and they'll ask, who was I? And then we get, you were a plumber in 1840s, and they're all angry at you now because they were a plumber. They're like, what does that have to do with anything? Now listen, in a past life, not everybody was a king and a queen. Not everybody was Cleopatra. Not everybody sailed across the world. Not everybody's saved 50 billion people or did something terrible. Some of us, before this in all of our lives, of course, we led some pretty normal lives, but there could be certain situations in a life, that small part of a life before, that was so grand or so something you needed to learn something from and you didn't, it carried over to this life. So if you find out who you are and it isn't somebody who's famous, don't feel bad about that. Who really cares? 99.9% of all the people in this world have not been written about or have not been in books. So don't worry really about as much as who you were and what the name was, but try to concentrate more on what that person went through and how this is affecting you. Well, thanks so much, you guys. That's about all I got. Like I said, once again, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Feel free to comment below about any past life experience that you've had, or write me at davidhansel@writeme.com if you need to know more information. Also, if you would like to get a reading from me, I am a medium, and you can go to letterfromthesky.com, and that'll tell you how to get in touch with me. Thanks, you guys, and you have a really awesome day. Bye-bye.